Hello everybody, and welcome back to Town to City, where we are continuing to work on our absolutely beautiful and gorgeous farming community. So in our last episode, we unlocked Tier 2 in the Farming tab, which got us roses, cotton, and beeswax, which was a lot of fun to work with. And I went ahead and unlocked the set hat colors, global stockpile, and extra granary workers. Now the extra granary workers is kind of nice because with all the farming I've been putting in, I've been needing some more granaries, but this is really cool here. This is called the global stockpile, which allows me to bring all of my crops and farming goods from this town over to the other town so that I can build the same things like a winery and a hat maker and the different things that need those resources. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Well, there's one more thing that we're going to have to do, and that's give this village a name. I don't really want to keep the name Fontbrack because that's the default name and that's kind of boring. So I asked you guys for suggestions and I have picked one from the list of comments that I've received. So thank you to the user Gardening for Health and Well-Being for suggesting the name Maryville, because as I was looking at this area with all the colorful flowers we've put in, the beautiful roses and things, it just makes me feel happy, makes me feel excited, and it's just kind of a bright and happy thing, and I would love to live here. So we're gonna come up here, we're gonna click on that, and we're gonna name our town Maryville because it's a happy place to be and people should want to live in good old Maryville. So thank you very much for the suggestion. We've got it in. So this brings us to the next thing that I want to do in the city. I want to unlock Tier 3 and I want to continue on with this farming village for a while. We'll go back to the first town eventually and keep building there, but I'm just kind of drawn and attracted to this. I think maybe it has something to do with the fact that I grew up in a very rural area myself, and so all of these farms and this kind of tight-knit community feels a little bit like home to me. So we're gonna go up here to the research menu, and I have got all the farm points that I need, and we're gonna go ahead and click on that and see what Tier 3 has to offer. My farm cap has been increased to 1200, which is great, and I've got new researchable items available. So let's take a look at what we got. Hops. Oh yeah, that's what we're looking for right there. Let the beer flow. Potatoes, so now we can make vodka. Tomatoes, is there an alcohol that involves tomatoes? Not sure. And lettuce. I don't know if there's an alcohol that involves lettuce either, but I guess you can't always make everything into booze. Hops, potato, tomato, lettuce, tomato, tomato. Let's call the whole thing off. Farm surface increased. Ooh, I like that. So that means we can build bigger farms. Farmers market decorations. Ooh, that is gonna be a fun thing to build. And dog houses. Because just in case you didn't know, they actually announced in this that they're going to be adding more animals very soon, and I'm super excited about that. I'm really looking forward to that part of the game. So what do we want to do? I think we need to let the game run for a while and unlock all this stuff. All right, I've been sitting around and waiting for a while. We've got all 1200 points. So hops, we want you. Potatoes, we want you. Tomatoes, we want you. And lettuce, we want you. And what does that give us? Oh, of course, a pub. Why not? That is awesome. I'm gonna have so much fun with that. Doghouse, wait a little bit longer and we'll get the last two. And with the magic of video editing, we can now get the farmers market decorations and we can get farm surface increase. We're ready to do some fun building now, I think. Well, I think before we do any extra farming, we're gonna have to put some more population in, because if we're gonna upgrade our farm to Tier 3, why don't we go ahead and upgrade our town to the next level too? Because I am looking at small town and I was mousing over some of these hidden things and I want to take a look at, which one was it? Right here. Stonework decorations, fountains, small statues, stone benches, big fountains, small fountains, stone basins, double stone bench, natural stone wall, tall natural stone wall. And out of that whole list, the stone walls have my attention because this game kind of has that rural European feel to it. And I know that, are they called flagstone walls? But the slate, really flat walls are used a lot in farming areas. And I want to start incorporating some of those into the town. I've about got as far as I can go with nothing more than just some fences and things. And I need some more decorations to have some more fun. So we do need to put some more houses in. I'm excited to start wrapping around the lake. I want to get over here to this peninsula and work because I think it's going to be a lot of fun to do things in. I have some ideas for that peninsula, but that's going to come later. This hill over here is going to be kind of a, I've envisioned a little bit of a Napa Valley vineyard type setup over here, and that's going to happen once I get more decorations unlocked. But here right by the lake, I think I've got plenty of space to put in another housing development and get more people moved in. So I'm gonna have to pull this road over, put some houses in, get them decorated, get the people moved in, and then we're gonna upgrade to the next tier of our town, which is small town, to get more decorations unlocked, and we're gonna keep building from there. So let me have a whack at that and we'll see how we do. Now, I was told in a comment in my last video that you can take awning or sunshades and they become awnings over windows. I did not know this was a thing. Oh, I like that. Okay, we're gonna be making use of that for sure in the future. So we do have a few new decorations. We got this gardening table here, which is pretty cool. And we got like this watering can that goes next to the gardening table. I wish it would go on top of the gardening table, but it doesn't, but that's okay. We'll put a little watering can here. How about a pump? They need a pump by their house. Cool. What else do we got? We got a dog house. All right, we got some stuff to use. That's kind of cool. There we go. I like that. You know what? This person probably has worn down the grass a little bit in front of that bench. A little soft dirt in there. There we go. I like it. I didn't know you could do this as well. That's kind of neat. I didn't realize that the pumpkins could go on shelves either. Would you look at that? There's so many things I need to learn about this game. All right, well, it's not much, but it's just a few houses to get the population up. But there are some cool things that I discovered as I was decorating. Like, did you know, I found out in a comment in my last video that those umbrellas that I've been using at the picnic tables, did you know you can put them over windows and they create awnings? How cool is that? And also, did you know that the flags that I used to create those gateways in the last video can be stuck on the side of a building as well, and they stick out like those purple and gold ones there? That is super cool. And if you look over here, we unlocked a garden table and a wheelbarrow and some different crates full of flowers that I use to decorate this area on this side over here. And then if we come all the way over here, we've got some of the Halloween decorations going in, as I felt like we needed a little like a Halloween harvest carnival. I know it's November and Halloween's over, but I didn't really get to use the Halloween decorations that much, and I thought it'd be kind of fun just to put in a little play area for the people who lived around here. And yeah, it's nice. It works. I also discovered that you can put the pumpkins on the sides of buildings as well. So all of those jack-o'-lanterns on platforms that you see on the side of the organ and the ones that you see all around the gazebo here, those are just up against the wall of the structure in the same way that flowers do. And I think the only other thing that's kind of unique to the decorations over here is we unlock dog houses. So I did put a doghouse behind this house in a fenced in area so that when the new update drops with the animals, we'll have ourselves a little happy critter right there. And I think that'll be a lot of fun. Other than that, we just got a few more houses decorated, some more awnings put on, whatnot. And now we're going to put people in these houses and we're going to see if we can't get this town upgraded to the next level. Alrighty, well, you look at that. We managed to get some people put in and now we can upgrade our town. So let's go ahead and hit the button. Oh yeah, it's time for some fireworks. We have a clock. I really need to decorate in front of the train station, don't I? Maybe that would be a good use for the stuff that we're about to unlock. Housewares, new need unlocked, interesting. And we got new research. Well, I've got a whole bunch of stuff. So Smithy, what does this do? Okay, it creates housewares. I can do laundry. That's nice. My people won't stink anymore. Artisan class. This is new. Unlocks the artisan resident building and the ability to upgrade townsfolk residences to artisan residence. What is an artisan? We're going to have to go read up on that. Better boots. A carpenter. Oh, this is cool. A clock gate. And I don't know what that is. Must need something with the population. And stonework decorations. Well, stonework decorations is going to happen. And that's all we have research for now. So I'm going to have to put some more workers in the research center, wait a little while to get all this stuff unlocked, and then we have some serious building to do because there is a lot of cool stuff here. All right, we've been getting some research points collected and I have just unlocked the Artisan class. What is this all about? The second class of residents in your city. Assign a family to an artisan house to turn them into artisan class residents. All artisan adults are available as artisan workers. As you grow your city, you will unlock commerce buildings that can only be operated by artisans. Oh, I see how this is. They're more demanding than townfolk. They require more luxury from commerce buildings. Ah, I see. So they're a little bit on the whiny side and they like to be a little bit more pampered. Okay. Artisans also become very unhappy when they do not receive enough luxury. Oh, well, we'll definitely have to explore that as we wait for more things to unlock because I want to play with all of this stuff today. So I'm kind of excited about the artisan class here because this apparently is a new type of citizen that I'm going to need to be employed at certain types of businesses, and they're going to help me unlock a few things. And over here, they got this clock gate decoration thing. I don't know what I want to do with it yet, but I do know that I need a bunch of research to get it, and I need, I think, a base happiness maybe of my artisan class to unlock it because I've already got the base happiness of the regular people. I don't want to call them regular people, but the plebeians, I don't know what they are, the working class. And so I think what we should be doing for this episode is trying to get this thing unlocked. Now, I've been inspired to try to create on this hill here a little bit of a Napa Valley expansion with a winery. And I think if we do it here with a bunch of vineyards and other things, and then over here by this cliffside and where that kind of comes down into the lake, we build some more housing. We can convert that housing into the artisan class. And the things that they want, for example, they're going to want a pub and they're going to want some other things. And I think we can build like a really kind of high-end ritzy area for people who live in this big city and they just want to come out here to their summer homes or whatever. So taking a look at this hill here, I'm going to start laying in some paths and some farm buildings to see if I can't use these new decorations like the stone walls and whatnot to get a real, I don't know, Napa Valley vibe going here. Let me see what I can pull off. All right, well, welcome to our hillside, kind of Napa Valley wannabe area that I've put together. I tossed in some windy roads. I used these new stone walls that I've got access to border the roads and kind of separate them off from the grapevines. And we put in 4 farmhouses and we put in a granary in the back to support them. And we've got them all decorated up. So let me introduce you to the 4 unique different structures that I have put into this area. Allow me to introduce you first to this farm, which is growing lettuce, potatoes, and tomatoes, because we're going to need all those things for our pub later. And I went ahead and used some of the new decorations. You can see down here, there's wheelbarrows, and there's these boxes and barrels and crates, which I really like. And I tried to make this look a little bit like a working farm. And then on the way over here to the side, I installed a shed with a little doghouse and a well in the back, some trees and things, just to make this look like a lived-in, well-worked worked farm area. This is not really kind of the ritzy fancy part of the structure that I put in. That all comes in a little bit later over here on the side. So let's head over to the second unique structure that I put in and decorated. Now for this farm, I kind of had a little bit of a unique idea. I thought that this would be a place that was selling artisanal goods, flowers, produce, wine, soaps, butter, whatever they're making. I thought it'd be kind of cool if we could make it look like they were decorated out for that. So it's a little hard to see because we're pressed right up against the edge of the map, but you can see that I use these new little garden. So you can see here, it's a little bit hard to see because we're pushed up right against the edge of the map, but I decided to use these new little garden workstation decorations as little selling points, little vendors, little market stalls. And then I went ahead and put in a little actual market stall back here that somebody's working at. And I think that this is kind of like one of those places where you would go up into the mountains and you would stop at a farm that, yes, it's a working farm, but they also sell a lot of their produce and goods. And I think that's kind of a neat little addition right there. So I like that building and I like the unique footprint that it makes. Now this little spot here is basically just a working farm. It's got the grapevines all around it for sure for the vineyard, but also it's got tomatoes out back, but you see lots of crates, lots of containers, lots of different things through here. Got the hay wagon. This is not meant to be super fancy. This is meant to be rustic, and this is meant to basically be people who are, you know, improving the land, just living the life. And next to that farmhouse, we have the granary that we put in. Definitely a working man's granary with all of the boxes and crates and barrels. But there's one thing I want to show you. I was recommended this in a comment on my last video. And do you see what's going on here on the side of the granary and on the back of the towers here on the silos? These are the Halloween vines that they gave us to make like spooky buildings and stuff. But somebody suggested that you put them up there, and then when you place the flowers on it, it can look like climbing roses and things. And I really love this look, and I'm really grateful to the comments and you guys pointing out things to me that I didn't even know was possible. I mean, I learned in the comments that you can put umbrellas on windows to make awnings. I've learned that you can use vines and flowers together. This is great. I love all this stuff. So got that all decorated. Now we're gonna head down to my favorite one. Now this little farmhouse I think is my favorite one because this is surrounded by hops, and I turned it into kind of a little microbrewery with a beer garden outside that people can go, and you can even see somebody sitting down there. I love how this one turned out, surrounded by the tall hops plants and the trees. And you come down here and you've got a nice cozy seating area with lots of shade. I'm using that trick with the vines and the flowers in the back to make it look like, you know, maybe like a morning glory or something like that. Clematis, I don't know. And I really like the way this turned out. Then I like that I was able to unlock all of these little produce boxes and these wheelbarrows and these crates and these garden workstations and stuff. It is very cool, and it gives you so much more flexibility with how you're going to decorate. All right, so we got all of our area put in here with the 4 farms and the vines and everything, and I really like the way this turned out, and it's a great addition to the city. But now that we have all the produce that we need, it's time to start working on that artisanal housing and some of the artisanal fancy stuff that they want us to put in with the different structures like the pub and things. So let's go check out some of these new buildings we've unlocked. Let's go check out these new artisanal houses and get a really bougie, ritzy area put in next. It's time to take our city up a step. All right, so I've got the basic structure put in for what I want this area to look like. I've created this big circle in the middle because, as I talked about earlier, there's something we're gonna unlock that I wanna be able to put in there. And in the back, I've got the artisan housing, which I upgraded to be extra tall so I can put lots of families in here, because I'm not really sure how many artisan families I need. I'm gonna have to kind of play that and see how it goes, and I might have to put in some more artisan housing somewhere else. But for now, I've got enough for what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 families. We'll see if that does it. And then all around this circle, I have put in lots and lots of commercial buildings. So over here, we've got our bistro, we got our butcher, we've got the brand new, very cool looking pub, which I like. I was gonna put it up closer to the top, but I looked at this rustic appearance that it has, and I just didn't think it quite fit up next to the artisan housing, but it does look nice tucked away back away from the circle a little bit. We've got a few stalls, because I'm not sure if they want food or not. We've got the clothing store, we've got the glasses store, we've got another winery up here, we got a little bit more housing, and we got the barber shop. I don't know if I'm going to need more. This right here is a very cool building. This is a clockmaker, and I just thought because it's so tall, it would fit really well in the back. And what I was trying to do was to create a little bit of layered depth as you came up here so that you would see some of the buildings, the little short stalls and some of these buildings here, and then you would see the taller residence in the back and the clock tower, and then these trees would give kind of just a feeling of depth to things. So what I need to go through now, and this is going to take a very long time, I think, is decorate everything and play around with all the cool new decorations that we have. So hang in there, we're gonna watch some more, and I'm gonna see if I can't make this place look really, really nice and fancy. All right, I've got most of the stuff decorated up. I've got the pub over here decorated, and I decided to use these little wooden archways to make kind of like a little tunnel entrance into it. I went with a red and white scheme with the flags that can stick off the side of things. I put a clock in there and a bunch of flowers. We've got the butchers with a little vegetable shop next to it, poultry shop I think it is. I put a little fountain out front with a tree and a garden. Over here we've got another bistro with a similar thing that we've done before with the two-tiered flowers. You can see the purple bushes here and the white flowers down below, and then we have all the tables with the parasols over them. I didn't do a lot with the actual building structure itself. I tried to go with more trees and things to fill in space on this one. Now I'm kind of proud of what I did over here on the side. Thank you again for people in the comments telling me that I should be combining the vines that grow on the wall with the flowers, because I think that looks amazing. And then I also had this new little fountain asset that I put a garden, a bunch of flowers around, and put one of those archways over the top, and I think it looks like a neat little side garden that the artisan class might have. The front of the buildings, I just went with some awnings, vines, flowers, bushes, just kind of colorful, just to kind of round out the hard edges of the rectangles and try to make things look a little bit more varied and not just the same thing over and over and over again. For the clock tower, we went with some banners up high, went with some flowers, I went with a yellow theme for the building, and then we had these rows of purple flowers leading up a little winding pathway up to the front. We had this statue here, which is pretty cool. I put the lanterns around it because at night it looks really, really neat. And then you can see on the side of the buildings, I've continued with the whole vine and flower thing. Now, as I play this game, you find out more and more things that you can stick to different things and things that have wall decorations in addition to what they normally look like. And the single flowers are, you can put those under windows, I discovered. And so you've got like a single flower pot there, and the decorations just continue. This one I went with sunflowers on the side and a nice blue flat wall. I thought about decorating it, but I just decided to leave it just for some variation. We've got the barber here with his yellow sunflowers. He loves them. He's got a little fence around his shop. You can go in there and get your hair cut. We got some more houses over here with more vines and things. And check this out. These things right here, these are picture frames that actually come from this decoration right here. These harvest crates. You can put them on the wall and they make little decorate. It's kind of neat. So I put a couple of those up there just to break up the wall and the flat face of the house. Swinging over here to our winery. Lots of flowers, lots of color. We've got a statue in front with a little garden, and then I've got the seating around the side with the tables and the barrels and the chairs. I love that I've got those decorations that I can use now, and just kind of wanted to make this look a little tucked away and nice and shady and whatnot. The optometrist has a beautiful fountain. This is the medium-sized fountain that I put in. Ignore the flickering blue. I don't know what's going on there, but I just put it in an individual flower garden around it, put one of those little garden workstations out front, and just made it nice and soft so that these corners here aren't too obvious. We got the dress shop next to it. Didn't do a lot to it just because of where I put it. There wasn't a lot of space that I could actually do a lot of decorating, so I just put a few things in just to make it kind of unique. And then some flowers and benches out in front of these stalls and some flags on the side to break up the silhouette and give it something new. We've got our seating over here, and it's pretty cool. Just benches looking out off the cliff with the bollards acting like a little barrier. And I really like how this whole thing looks when you pull up from this angle and give it a nice view with all of the layering and everything. And that's basically what I was really hoping for, was to see shorter things in the front with lots of color, but then the bright blue buildings and things in the back that draw your eyes towards that. And I think we have an amazingly beautiful artisan district with lots of things for people to do and lots of luxuries to make them happy. So this whole thing took me about 2.5 hours to do, maybe a little bit longer. I was just listening to a podcast, just going nuts, and I love how beautiful and how detailed this thing turned out. All right, so we're gonna build some more houses, and I think I wanna use the area over here by the wedding chapel and the bed and breakfast bee farm thing that I built in the last episode, because I've got this open space here next to some shops, which are gonna keep them happy, and we can just put in some housing right in here, and I think it's gonna be very helpful. I do need regular workers for some of the stalls and buildings that I built over in the Artisan area, but I'm also gonna need some artisan workers. Let's see how that goes. So let's build this in, we'll come back, staff everything up, and we'll see how we're doing. Did you guys know that you can take wheelbarrows and put them on walls and make wheels? Or you can take the gardening tables and put them up and they become decorative shelving? How cool is that? You can take street signs, put them on houses and make notice boards. How cool is that? Did you know you can take the sidewalk sign and put that on a house, on a wall, and it turns into a hanging sign? I am learning so much. There's way too much detail to this game. I'm just finding out brand new things every day. What happens if you put a table on a wall? It becomes a shelf. What? What? Chairs? Anything? What is that? Oh, it's just a chair glitching through the wall. Did you also know the cellar door, if you put it on a wall, turns into like old rustic boards? That's kind of cool. I don't know what that would be for, but what if I did like that and then, you know, you put like some old rusty boards above it? Kind of looks like the house is in it. Ah, that's kind of neat. Oh, this game is full of all kinds of details. So it turns out I needed a lot more population than I thought I did to employ everybody over in the Artisan area. So I went a little crazy, doing some building off screen, putting in a few more houses, and I really like this community garden idea that I had, using potatoes and cabbages and roses and beeswax farms to add some decoration, because I think it's kind of cool that these houses, they're kind of like an allotment system, you know, where you would have people growing their own produce inside a residential area. And it goes back to what I was talking about before, because the buildings in this game are so repetitive. They're all kind of the same thing over and over and over again. You have to do something to change the footprint of the building to make it look more unique. And so I find that using walls, using gardens, using fences, flower lines, tree lines, and shrubbery lines, I'm able to change the footprint of the houses just a little bit to where, even though this is the same house put in over and over and over again, it kind of still has a little bit of a unique feeling, because I'm able to draw the eye into believing that at least these houses have a little bit of uniqueness to them. And I really like this look, and I'm hoping to experiment with it even more and to build with it more in the future as I unlock more decorations. So let me know what you think of the residential area we put in. Do you like the idea of using the crops for community gardens? It's one of those features that has so much flexibility that I'm really excited by the possibilities of what you can do with it. Let me know in the comments what you think. And my goodness, it took long enough, but we finally have everybody happy over here with the amount of amenities that we have for the artisans, and more. They a picky group of people, but I think I'm slowly getting this game figured out. Taking out the winery and putting in the lumberyard and the blacksmith helped, and getting the pub set up with enough employment and things. We finally have what we're looking for. And if we pull up the menu, you can see that our artisan class is 100% happy. They still don't have enough housewares, but it's fine, don't worry about it. And these guys are happy too. The farmers are happy. Everybody's happy. There's a few issues I still have with delivery, with the greenhouses, or granaries, not greenhouses, and the warehouses, but I'm just gonna have to figure that out. I still need more population. It's amazing how many people you need to run a town this size. But our goal this episode was to do this clock gate. That was what the whole thing with building, with all of these new artisan buildings and shops and decorations, was to get this clock gate unlocked. And now we have an artisan class that's happy enough, so we're going to click on that, unlock the clock gate, and now is the moment of truth. Is my circle big enough to hold the clock gate? I don't know, but let's go over to the special buildings. It's unlocked. Here it is. Oh yeah, it's not that big at all. So to wrap up this episode, we're going to get this clock tower gate thing put right in the middle of this circle. We're going to get it decorated up in the way that we know how best to do it, and when we come back, we'll see how beautiful this area is, and I think that's where we're going to stop this episode. So let me get this clock tower put in, let me get it all decorated up, and let's see what we come up with. And then you guys can leave your comments down below with suggestions for what I could have done to make it better, because, you know, I'm not an expert at this. I'm just trying to figure it out, and you guys are super helpful. So here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our clock gate is put in. Our decorations are dropped in. We've got more rose bushes from the farming section. We've got clocks put in all around the place. We've got flowers. We got lights. We got fountains. We got benches. We got everything we could ever want. And this thing looks cool. And when you combine it with all of the housing and the businesses and things that are around it on the outside, I am super, super happy with how this turned out. It is beautiful. It is gorgeous. This game is incredible with the amount of detail and the flexibility that you have for things that you can do. If you've liked what I've designed here and you have some ideas on how it could be better, drop a comment down below. But even more, why don't you do your own designs in this game? Because you should definitely pick it up. This game is totally worth it. And drop some screenshots in the Town to City Reddit, where I'm an active participant and I'm posting screenshots and messages all the time. I would love to see your ideas for the different things that I've done. How could I do it better? But that's all we have time for today. If you like what you've seen, give me a thumbs up down below, drop a comment letting me know what your favorite part was. Even hit that subscribe button so you can see more designs and more builds in the future. But I think that's about all we have time for today. So until next time, I'll catch y'all later.